Right, the week whizzes by, almost in a blink of an eye we're back and trying to think up podcasts and topics. We thought today of a quick one about the perception of gaining health. Do we have to gain something? Do we really have to lose something? It's the mindset behind trying to change and trying to gain something. When you look to gain and move forwards and you want to improve something, do we feel that we're losing out on something, or do we feel that we're trying to gain something? An example for me is, say, I get asked a lot in practice of, oh, I want to do this, so what do I need to lose? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to lose out? Do I need to stop eating this or do it? And it's really quite an interesting concept, because the answer to that is, it depends what else you're doing. I don't like the idea of losing things. So I say to someone, if they're trying to improve their health, say for diet is a good example, I say, don't change anything, add something. So if you don't, say for example, someone doesn't eat apples or doesn't eat fruit or veg, so before you're going to drop something, add something. It's always easier to not have space for your sweets or treats rather than think, I've got to give up something. So I like the psychology behind adding rather than feeling losing something.
I like the fact with that as well, but then when you do have to look to switch things around, also look to what you're going to gain from doing that.
Yeah.
And if it's a case of what a lot of people I work with will have is that I want to see if there's a reaction that they have with gluten or dairy. So we'll take one out for a couple of weeks and then put it back in.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times people then will have some sort of reaction or see how that makes you feel. And then they choose to actually keep it out. They end up saying, oh, I didn't realise I felt like that. Now, by taking that out, they actually get that benefit of then gaining something, the energy, the focus, less brain fog and things like that. And the problem that we have in the modern society, I see, is that a lot of people don't know what it is like to feel good.
Well, we by habit, aren't we? We don't like change. As long as we are rightish where we are, to change it is the unknown, and it's unpredictable. And do I really? Can I do without that morning coffee? Can I do without? Drinking water and not drinking? It's the unknown, and as opposed to the idea of, hey, I'm not going to go backwards. I've got nothing to lose. What could I gain? But unfortunately, we are bombarded, whether it's news, the media, society, we are bombarded to, it's carrot to the stick. We either see that we're going to move forwards to gain, or the worst is, I don't want to go back. So as long as I don't have what I had before, or as long as I don't, but I agree with you with the elimination diets are brilliant, because not only do they give instant feedback, but they also empower people to understand more about their body. So you're not saying you should do this or should not. You're not coming with the authority. Say, let's try this, and then your experience will tell us if that's the right road. And they learn a lot more that way.
With the gluten one, it's actually interesting. There's two reasons I do it. The first one is to see if there is a reaction with gluten, but the second one is to get them to read food labels.
Yeah.
Because just seeing if there's any foods that could have a reaction in a product, people are looking, seeing the ingredients in bold. Is it wheat? Is it got something with gluten in it or something like that? And people are actually seeing the other items that are in it, and realising how many things they can't pronounce that must be pretty fake when it comes to ingredients. And it's not surprising when they come back to me and say, oh, I don't want to eat all those processed foods now anyway. I didn't realise that was in the food, or that was in the food, or I'll have a yogurt and there's so many different types of sugar in the food. Yeah. And it's actually kind of eye-opening for them to actually read the labels. And if I just said to them straight away, read the labels of all the food you're getting, I wouldn't do it.
No. And that, again, that empowers people, it educates people, but they do it on their own back. So you're not sitting and going, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that, don't eat that. Because that's what I'm going back to when we were beginning, is this element of you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. If you get should on too much, you lose motivation, rather than someone goes, do you realize how much stuff is in this, this packet of whatever biscuits or so? I don't want to eat that. But there's this other packet which is far better, and you go, well, you've figured that out for yourself. So it's about gaining information, gaining empowerment, gaining information, and that leads us forwards, I think, into change, rather than the sense of I don't want to lose something out.
Yeah, and I think the overall is if you are having to take something away, and you look at the reasoning behind that, the big thing of why you have to take a food or an ingredient or something away is because that is taken away from your health. And what would you prefer? Have that food or have your health where you've got much more energy, much more focus, less stress, more sex drive and better skin, better hair and low brain fog and all that sort of stuff? Would you prefer that or a cookie? There's
a lovely thing I saw on Facebook to finish up with, which was a picture, and I might try and track it down and put it in the podcast, which was it's a picture from one of the functional medicine practitioners, which was, everything that you eat is either moving you towards the pharmacy or it's moving you towards optimal health, or it said pharmacy as in the farm. So you're either whatever you're doing is either moving you towards health or away from health. Or traffic light system, it's either green, go for it, amber, moderation, or red, this is going to move you away from health. So like last week, keeping it simple and being more aware of choices. And I'd say I like the psychology of I'm doing something to gain. I'm gaining education, I'm gaining information, I'm learning more about, and sometimes that's also making mistakes. You go off the track, you eat the wrong things, your body gives that feedback, like you're saying with the gluten, and you go, there we go. Yeah. I don't need to read a book or something, my body's just told me.
And then if you do want to have that food, you know what you're going to feel like afterwards. So it's a choice you then make. If you want to have that piece of chocolate cake with a load of gluten in, that's fine, but you know what it's going to do to you, and then a few days later you'll feel good again. But at least you know why you feel like that, where a lot of people don't, and that's a massive takeaway.
Cool.
Don't have a massive takeaway though.
No massive takeaway. Well, if you have a takeaway, know what's coming.
That's the takeaway.
Right, have a good week. Short podcast this week. Short, simple. What are the things that you put in place? What are the things that work for you as far as gaining rather than losing? Or is the psychology the other way for you? Do you like to think of, I don't want to lose this, so I don't want to, I'm fearful of losing my fix, my perceived buddy of that, my little piece of cake in the afternoon. There's a lot of people out there exercising so that they can eat rubbish. What's it for you? What's the takeaway for you?
Thanks for watching, guys, and we shall catch you soon.
All right, have a good week.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye.